Passion, pride in their eyes. Warriors charging, never compromise. Fields of battlefield, dust in the air. Crowd goes wild, don't you dare. Friday night lights, roar a crowd. Helmets clash, thunder loud. Pigskin flying, hope in the sky. This is our time, watch them cry. Stomp, stomp, clap, pause, hear the beat now. Red Devils, Warriors, showdown, let's bow. Hands to the sky, we'll take it or crumble. Stomp, stomp, clap, pause, hearts rumble. Coaches yelling, things about to pop. Cheerleaders dancing, they never stop. Students screaming, pride on display. Victory's ours, no other way. Class stains, blood, sweat, pour on the ground. Glory's our prize, it's where we're bound. Feel the rush, pulse in your veins. Stomp, stomp, clap, pause, break the chains. Stomp, stomp, clap, pause, hear the beat now. Red Devils, Warriors, showdown, let's bow. Hands to the sky, we'll take it or crumble. Stomp, stomp, clap, pause, hearts rumble. Stomp, stomp, clap, pause, hear the beat now. Red Devils, Warriors, showdown, let's bow. Hands to the sky, we'll take it or crumble. Stomp, stomp, clap, pause, hearts rumble.
All right, good evening, fans. Jason Honeycutt, IR Media, back with you again for another season of Crestwood Red Devil football. We are so excited to be here tonight. So excited, in fact, that my son and helper got out of work late. So I'm up here by myself, doing it all by myself. So you guys are going to have to bear with me tonight, at least until my help gets here. But for now, tonight is youth night. That we have the youth lined up on the field, ready to welcome the Red Devils team, varsity team, out onto the field here. So I'm going to zoom in on this guy right here. I want you to meet, if you can see him, I think we're looking at his back right now, the guy with the gray stripe down his back right there. That is Rich McIntyre. He has been the president of Crestwood Youth Football and Cheerleading for about 7-8 years now, at least. He's been a part of the program for probably 15 or 16 years anyways. Really has helped rebuild this program. Over 100 kids, I believe, are now involved. At one time, we were down to about 30. So I really want to hand it to Rich McIntyre for building up the Crestwood youth football program. Let's see. Last week, if you didn't make it to Ritztown to watch the Devils take on the Rovers down at Robert C. Dunn Stadium, you missed a heck of a game. Boy, our boys came out on fire. A little bit nervous. Bunch of turnovers. Let's see. Ritztown turned the ball over 7 times. I believe there was 4 fumbles and 3 interceptions, and we only turned it into 3 scores. But it seemed that we dominated them all night long. They scored 2 points on a safety that we had the ball at the 1. We picked them off at the 1-yard line. And couldn't. And the very next snap went over Charlie Summers' head. Can you grab that? Yeah, Bryce is now here, my partner in crime. We have some stuff blowing away. Part of our just stuff it in that bag. It's hard to be a one-man show here, so you'll have to, again, like I said, bear with me. But you missed a heck of a game. And, in fact, I do have some highlights from last week's game I'm going to play for you right now. So let's see if I can get this going. And I'll kind of talk you through it as best I can here. Okay, here we go. Last week's game. Crestwood visits Brucetown at Robert C. Dunn Stadium. Blasio run here, kicking off things, picking up 25 yards of his 230 yards on the night. He was just running like a madman. Next one, let's see. Blasio run picking up. Let's see. This is pass was batted away by Tommy Georger, senior Tommy Georger. Next play, almost the exact same pass, picked off by senior Bryce Giel. However, the play after that was mishandled. That was the snap that led to the safety I told you about. But here's Blasio picking up 14 of his 230 yards by bashing his way through a crowd of Rovers. Later on that same drive, a handoff to Januska, who picks up 7. Next play, same drive, another 7-yard carry by senior Tristan Addis. You can see Crestwood spreading the ball around. Was really nice to see. Finally, this drive, let's see, capped off by there's Tristan Addis. I'm a little ahead of you guys. Next snap, you can see direct snap to Blasio, who trots in for the touchdown. But what you won't see here, what you probably didn't notice right here in the yellow, this is quarterback Charlie Summer. Watch him lead block for Blasio. He takes on a blitzing linebacker and drives this guy 7 yards into the end zone. I mean, look, fighting, the score's already over. Charlie's still working. That's not something you often ask of your quarterback. It's usually a running back, a fullback that does that for you. And Charlie says congratulations to the other team on his way off the field. Next play, Summer juggles the snap, but brings it in and finds Mason Satterley in the back of the end zone to bring the score to 14-2. Crestwood giving those cheerleaders a little something to shout about. It was good to see them. There it is. There's 14-2. And there's our cheerleaders. A little something to shout about right there. First play of the ensuing drive, Rovers fumble the snap, and it's recovered by senior Jackson Rattray, setting Crestwood up at the Rovers' 23-yard line. Charlie Summer then carries again, grabbing another Crestwood first down. You're asking a lot of your quarterbacks. He's doing a lot of the work for you, and Charlie's up for the task. Next play, Wyatt Januska again picks up 7 more for Crestwood, turning it on the outside there. And capped again by another direct snap to Blasio, who won't be denied, and busts his way into the end zone. Look, busts his way into the end zone for his second touchdown of the night. Congratulations to Louis. Late in the third quarter, sophomore Ty Berquist picks up his very first varsity sack. Congratulations to that young man. And here again is Blasio doing what Blasio's do, making the defense look like boys playing a man's game. Tacking 18 more yards onto his total for the night right here. Little spin move. And then here's 13 more from Blasio as he runs through a Rovers defender for another first down. Late in the fourth, here's junior Jake Ironman's first of 2 back-to-back sacks. This one he has to kind of chase him around a little bit. Takes a different angle, and the guy slips in, and he's tagged down by Ironman right there. And Ironman's second, and this is basically sums up the entire night. The Rover offense seemed to be constantly running for their lives, and this time it was quarterback Blake Mullally getting hit by the Mack truck that we call Jake Ironman. Coach Jack gave game ball to the entire defense because of the plays like this. Everyone was involved all night long, and this next play is going to cap off any hopes of the Rovers and a miracle comeback as Mullally is picked off for the 3rd time by Bryce Giel with his 2nd of the game, followed by a nice return and a little something more for the cheerleaders and the crazies to get pumped up about. Final score last week, 20-2. Crestwood brings home the victory, moves to 1-0, and we knock off Ritztown for the first time since 2021. Now, when I was growing up all those years ago, Crestwood's rival was Streetsboro. I grew up in Stowe, and I remember Crestwood and Streetsboro were the big rivalry. So, we have nothing? Am I talking to nobody? All that for nothing? I got it. Okay. They told me that I was my live stream wasn't working. I got it. I just had to make sure. But when I grew up, it was Crestwood versus Streetsboro was the big rivalry. And then after I moved here, I was told it was Garrettsville, the G-men over there, that we wouldn't talk about. That was the team to the east that we wouldn't. That was our rival. However, call me crazy if you want. But to me, I feel like the last 10 years or so has developed an awesome new rivalry with Ritztown. We're both blue-collar towns. We both have a passionate fan base for our football teams. And while we may not be in the same conference, when it comes to football, basketball, and even baseball, it seems that we can gauge how good or bad our seasons are going to be based on how well we play against Ritztown. We just had an alumni game against Ritztown with Crestwood a couple weeks ago, and I got to tell you, it was a blast. I played in it with 3 of my oldest sons. I have 4. And we all got to play together. We lost, yeah, but they had a bigger team than us, and they practiced for weeks, and we had like 3 practices. So, but man, what a good time! And I really feel like we're both about the same size schools, the same kind of community. We're scarlet and gray, red and gray, and they're blue and white, and it just makes sense. It feels like our Division V version of Ohio State and Michigan, or that team up north. I'm sorry. But anyways, what do you think? I think we have a new rivalry with that team down south. Here's our girls. I'm sorry, girls. Our band kicking it off for us. And it looks like the alma mater's up next. It's going to be hard to hear. I don't have a mic on the field, so I apologize. But they're playing Crestwood's alma mater. All right. Always, always, always the class of the county, the class of the area, Crestwood Scarlet Guard. Moving on to the national anthem. All right. In case you're not aware, there was a realignment this season, actually at the end of last season, in the CVC Valley Division, where Crestwood resides, welcoming in the Fairview Warriors. And there was one more that I'm drawing a blank on right now. Anyways, we now have 3 teams in the CVC Valley Division whose colors are red and gray. I believe Fairview goes by scarlet and gray. So of the 6 teams, 3 of them are red and gray. So it's going to be an interesting season. We're going to look a lot alike in some games. It's going to be hard to tell who's who. So I'll tell you tonight, the Red Devils are wearing, they're all red shirts, red pants, gray helmets with the red and white stripe. Very Ohio State looking. The Minerva Lions are wearing red pants, also with a white shirt, and a lighter gray helmet with their lion on the side. So that'll help tell them apart. Tell them apart.
We're here in Minerva, and you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for Crestwood football. Your 2024 Crestwood Red Devils.
And here they come. All right, your 2024 version of your Crestwood Red Devils, who entered tonight's game at 1-0. The Minerva Lions come to town with an 0-1 record, losing last week. And I'm working on getting my roster up and ready. I may call the wrong name and the wrong number tonight because, from what I understand, a couple guys traded jerseys sometime in the past 2 weeks before the game. So my roster, for instance, says Charlie Summer is number 3. However, he has been wearing number 12, and I assume then that he traded jerseys with who was number 12, Michael Callista. So if I do call the wrong name tonight, believe me, it's not on purpose. I want your children to get all the credit that they deserve. All right, I'm going to step away for 1 second here to get my team set up, but we won't miss a second of all the action. All right, looks like we're about to get underway as Minerva kicks off. Nate Blasiol has the ball on a return. He's cutting it outside wide.
Finds a hole.
Up to the 30, the 40, across the 40 to about the 43-yard line on a great opening kickoff return.
Going to start with really good field position there on offense.
My son Bryce has joined us in the booth. Welcome,
Hi.
Bryce.
Better late than never, right?
Better never than better late than never.
Never better.
He brought me, him and my wife brought me a cheeseburger and a Coke, so I can't argue with that. So Nate Blasiol was the recipient of the Daystar Player of the Week. The Portage News game ball. Jack Blasiol gave him an offensive game ball. So here we go. First play from scrimmage, right at the 40.
Busting up the middle, Nate Blasiol. He's going to get enough for a first down, bumbling and tumbling.
Doing what he does, just driving up the field, carrying guys with him. If you've never met him in person, you have to know this kid, he might be the strongest kid I have ever met at his age. I think he's about 17 years old, and he is strong as an ox. That's all I can say, strong as an ox. So first down, right at the 50-yard line. Charlie takes a snap, hands off, looks like, is this Januska? Wyatt Januska, number 4, has the ball across the 45 down about the 41 into Lion territory.
Good for another 9 yards or so.
And this was what they did last week. This was really fun to watch. And they didn't have to, while he did rush for 230 yards, he didn't have to carry the load himself. Wyatt, Charlie, Tristan Addis, I'm calling them by their first names, Januska, Summer, and Addis all had a lot of carries last week, helping relieve some of that load from Blasiol. And here's Summer looking downfield. He's got a guy. Catch is made. Number 4, Wyatt Januska.
Had to have some pretty good concentration on that catch. He had hands coming in at him from 2 different angles.